Hello and welcome back. In this short lecture, we will be learning integrated scripting environment, which is nothing but ISE. So when you type here ISE, you would be getting as the let me type ISE. Yeah, ISE comes as a PowerShell. Or if it's not coming here, in fact, you just need to go to the PowerShell, and you would be getting here under PowerShell ISE, which is nothing but the editor. Which is a 64-bit one, and this is a 32-bit one. So if I start enabling, start working on the ISE, if you're first time trying to open this, once the console is open, you can view any of these methods to choose any of the view. For example, the first one which I wanted to explain here, which is showing here, which is giving me to write here, very similar to the notepad, and here also the console of the PowerShell. So for example, if I select here and type maybe get hyphen help, so I can get that specific help, right? But what if I want to type here, what would happen is the same thing, get hyphen help or whatever this, as soon as I press something here, it is actually showing me the intelligence way, the possible command. So in this case, it would be get hyphen help. Similarly, I can simply hit enter. That would actually fulfill the entire commandlet. And similarly, I can use anything. For example, if I try to pipe, it is showing me here in the red as there should be something wrong. It should not be empty. You have to write something here, like I can go for select or whatever things to be done. So it is actually showing me in the right way with the proper colors and other ways. So what exactly this place, so this is where you can write the complete scripts, and that script can be a comment, or it can be easily identified within the scripting area. It is one of the editor for you. So you do have like notepad, you have the wordpad, you have the Microsoft Word. So you know the key difference between these three of the different editors. So in the Word you can have a complete grammar, at least the grammar can be tested. You have the header, you do also have the font sizing and bullets, kind of a very good way when compared with the notepad, right? So similarly, that's the one of the editor for the text. Similarly, you do have for the notepad plus plus. Similarly, for the PowerShell, you have one editor which is a free from Microsoft. You don't need to pay anything. Yes, there are a few of the editors are available when you pay for them, but it's a free editor which is built in with the ISE. Of course, most of the Windows, if you're using a Windows 10, it is by default it will be available. But if it is a Windows Server, you might have to install as additional feature on the operating system, or in the older versions it would be older version of the operating system, so it will be already available. So let's try to write one of the script which we have developed in the previously. For example, get hyphen, I wanted to pull these services here. You can see here I can use the arrow keys, similar things like services, and that would be actually, if I execute here, this is the run. So if I can press the F5, so once this is executed, it is actually giving me, here is the output. You can check out here, the output is coming up. On top of it, I can filter, I can do anything. For example, I want name as the if it as soon as I type, if you see here, whatever I wanted here, for example, get service, I want name, for example here, all the properties which are coming up, for in this case it's name, and then simply I can say bits. See, the bits also coming up, and it is intelligently, it is pulling out that value, and simply if I just execute this, it's actually showing me the specific output. And if I don't want, I can simply type here even the clear, this also is separate altogether console, and I can get the exact output here. So this is very useful when you're trying to write an editor based script. So in the future upcoming lectures, we would be using only this specific console for any kind of writing the scripts. You may be thinking that why I have not yet started this, because what if you're on a Windows server and you're trying to do some kind of script debugging, then it would be difficult for you, and you may be thinking that I need to have ISV. Instead of that, if you start using on only the the PowerShell console, that's a normal console, which is this, and then it would be easy for you to play with this kind of console, instead of you to expect the ISV on the server operating system. So it's good that you can have the knowledge on both the things, but people mostly prefer to work on this ISE. So in our case, we also try to work on here. And if you can look at here, these two windows, I'm gonna toggle and up and down, maybe for example side by side. Like you have the left side here the output, and in the right side you do also have the scripts, and you can save directly this specific script if you wanted. Think that these are the two different views, or would be useful if you have the multiple monitors. Let's say you have the two monitors, maybe you can drag and drop this to one side of the monitor, other part is another side, and this way it would be useful. So you have this view and other view, and also just the screen of PowerShell. So PowerShell editor, in this case, whenever I execute that output, actually the output will be shown on my screen. And if I want to go back, I need to go back to the same view, one of the view. And also you do have here the show command, which we also tested in the past. If you can remember, during the one of the lecture, I did also explain about the show command, where you can you can play with any of the command. For example, this, if you want to import this, so simply add this details, which is coming up directly from the internet, and by loading that whatever the module, and that specific information you can add here directly, you can input, and that information would be coming back to your editor also. And also you have here all the list of commands and the modules. You can check out here. We tried with the getting different modules to be loaded, but you see here all the modules which are already available here. And if you just input any of the new module, it also you can simply refresh, so that it will be available in this list, and you can play with that all the commandlets which are available. For example, if I want to play with the services, get hyphen services, this services is already available here. You can check the full details here. So for example, here the computer name, where you wanted to run that specific command, and the display of that, this information you can write even the parameters for the debugging. This would be useful if you're trying to do, including the input and debugging. These are the required information which are available. If you want more help, you can also go for this is nothing but your object. In fact, if you look at here, this is showing as the object complete object specific one, which we are trying to get. And you see here, this is a help, which is nothing but a full help, which is showing me, including all the examples also coming up if as soon as I just click on that. So it would be useful for me to, if I want to build any kind of script, so editor will be very useful in this way. So this is just a kind of introduction. In the upcoming lectures we would be definitely working on the ISV, so you would be definitely getting familiar and how to work on that this specific window. If you don't want this to be in a view, you can simply take it out. If you want, you can go for this view, and you can save this as a script. For example, I always like to save in my one of the folder, maybe in my C drive, under scripts. I can save it like this is just for the demo, and make sure that this saves any PS1 as the script model, which is default. Simply click on save. That's going to save as the PS1. And if you want to call this specific script, for example, whatever the output which is coming out here, so this output, if you want to call as a script, what you can do is you can either think that this is one of the script, right? We saved into C colon scripts folder as the demo, or you can check out as the demo as the name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually either call C colon scripts, okay, and the demo as a full name. Either I should be executing in this way in the PowerShell, or what I can do is I can actually go to that script folder, and then dot and the backslash with the script name. For example, in this case, it can be demo That's the one, so that it's going to execute. It can't execute if I just type as a demo. For example, what was the name? Demo.ps1, right? Yeah. So if I give as a ps1, it's not going to execute. It says that I don't know what exactly it means, because as part of the security concerns, PowerShell has been disabled in such a way it can't execute if you just call that script. You need to explicitly say that with a dot and with a backslash and the name of the script, in this case dot backslash demo dot ps1, then it can execute that script. This is for the security purpose. If you're trying for the first time on your PowerShell on your test machine, you might get an error because you're calling a script which is an outside. So what you can do is you need to find out. You might get a kind of execution policy specific error. So just check out what kind of an execution policy you have set. So you can based on that you can actually, let me list. You can check out here. See, you have the different execution policies, so make sure that you have at least running as the execution policy level that cannot be blocked, because you are trusting that specific script. And this specific thing I have already explained in one of the lecture. You can check back that if you want, or simply go back to the help and set hyphen execution policy specific help and look at examples how to set up this specific execution policy information, and that might help you out. Here I'm just taking out, so breaking this, and these are the examples, so you can use one of them. So I just use this command to list, and you can all the signed or just for the scope of the machine I did configure. So these are the things, like you can set it to or even the remote signed. That would be good to configure. It all depends what kind of a policy you want to configure. So this specific lecture is focused on just the ISE specific, and in the future I'm going to talk on how to write a complex scripts on this specific to ISE.